If everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. If you think you can do a thing or think you can't do a thing, you're right. You can't build a reputation on what you are going to do. My best friend is the one who brings out the best in me. One of the greatest discoveries a man makes, one of his great surprises, is to find he can do what he was afraid he couldn't do. Nothing is particularly hard if you divide it into small jobs. Enthusiasm is the yeast that makes your hope shine to the stars. Enthusiasm is the sparkle in your eyes, the swing in your gait, the grip of your hand, the irresistible surge of will and energy to execute your ideas. I believe God is managing affairs and that He doesn't need any advice from me. With God in charge, I believe everything will work out for the best in the end. So what is there to worry about? There is joy in work. There is no happiness except in the realization that we have accomplished something. Even a mistake may turn out to be the one thing necessary to a worthwhile achievement. Competition is the keen, cutting edge of business, always shaving away at costs. I am looking for a lot of men who have an infinite capacity to not know what can't be done. A market is never saturated with a good product, but it is very quickly saturated with a bad one. Whatever you have, you must either use or lose. There is no man living that cannot do more than he thinks he can. As we advance in life, we learn the limits of our abilities. Wealth, like happiness, is never attained when sought after directly. It comes as a byproduct of providing a useful service. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. It is well enough that people of the nation do not understand our banking and monetary system, for if they did, I believe there would be a revolution before tomorrow morning. Quality means doing it right when no one is looking. If there is any one secret of success, it lies in the ability to get the other person's point of view and see things from that person's angle as well as from your own. Whether you believe you can do a thing or not, you are right. It has been my observation that most people get ahead during the time that others waste. If money is your hope for independence, you will never have it. The only real security that a man will have in this world is a reserve of knowledge, experience, and ability. Before everything else, getting ready is the secret of success. A business absolutely devoted to service will have only one worry about profits. They will be embarrassingly large. Capital punishment is as fundamentally wrong as a cure for crime, as charity is wrong as a cure for poverty. The competitor to be feared is one who never bothers about you at all, but goes on making his own business better all the time. The only real security that a man can have in this world is a reserve of knowledge, experience, and ability. The man who will use his skill and constructive imagination to see how much he can give for $1, instead of how little he can give for $1, is bound to succeed. Exercise is bunk. If you are healthy, you don't need it. If you are sick, you should not take it. A bore is a person who opens his mouth and puts his feet in it. Money is like an arm or leg. Use it or lose it. I cannot discover that anyone knows enough to say definitely what is and what is not possible. I do not believe a man can ever leave his business. He ought to think of it by day and dream of it by night. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. The greatest thing in life is to keep your mind young. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. Thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably the reason why so few engage in it. It is not the employer who pays the wages. Employers only handle the money. It is the customer who pays the wages. Don't find fault. Find a remedy. A business that makes nothing but money is a poor business. There are no big problems, there are just a lot of little problems. Most people spend more time and energy going around problems than in trying to solve them. You can't learn in school what the world is going to do next year. Any color, so long as it's black. Time and money spent in helping men to do more for themselves is far better than mere giving. There is one rule for the industrialist, and that is, make the best quality of goods possible at the lowest cost possible, paying the highest wages possible. The highest use of capital is not to make more money, but to make money do more for the betterment of life. What's right about America is that although we have a mess of problems, we have great capacity, intellect, and resources to do something about them. You will find men who want to be carried on the shoulders of others, who think that the world owes them a living. They don't seem to see that we must all lift together and pull together. We don't want tradition. We want to live in the present, and the only history that is worth a tinker's dam is the history we make today. Business is never so healthy as when, like a chicken, it must do a certain amount of scratching around for what it gets. History is more or less bunk. An idealist is a person who helps other people to be prosperous. Speculation is only a word covering the making of money out of the manipulation of prices, instead of supplying goods and services.